good experience though. I love coaching.
Good. I had a kid lie on me one time and said that I said our sport was more important than school.
Ooh.
hmm
So, no.
And I had another coach standing right there that was like, "That's not what she said."
Yeah.
But these kids will lie on
Oh
you.
yeah. I took kids off the team because of their grades. Like grades is big for us. Like for me at least.
hmm
For like I don't care if you're my child, you're not playing. If you're great, you're an athlete first.
hmm
Me, you're a student first. I'm sorry,
Right.
before you're an athlete. So I'm big. I'm big on that student part. I'm strict though. My kids, if you get a C, you
Mm.
have the A's and B's in my household.
Okay.
So I'm really strict.
Yeah.
That's some. I don't teach. Like for me, I don't teach kids to be mediocre, and I think
hmm
a C is maybe just mediocre. And I know sometimes like people are, oh, well, school kids is not always easy. Yeah, you're right, but if we put them in that mindset of it's okay, they're gonna think it's okay to be mediocre. You know what I'm
hmm
saying? I'm like, nah, we strive for greatness. So that's my theory. That's my 1-2. So all right. So anyways, back to sports.
I can dig it. That's a good philosophy to have. Hey, Brandy.
Hey
Okay.
guys,
Hey, I hear you, Brandy.
We're
How
how are
you
you
doing,
guys?
baby?
doing good.
Wonderful, wonderful. How you feeling?
I'm pretty good.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. I missed you last week.
Right, I know.
I know. I'm
But
like,
I'm
man, the
back.
show just ain't the same without you. You
I
know?
love it.
No. I'm glad you're here, though. Welcome, welcome.
You good now, Eddie?
Hmm?
You good now? You can hear?
I can hear her, yes.
Okay. You
I
can't
can't
hear
hear
me
you,
though?
though. No, but I'm here in studio with you.
Okay, good. I'm glad that you can hear her and you can hear me too. So let's go ahead and get into these Cleveland Guardians. So last night,
I didn't see the game.
huh?
I didn't see the game last night.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I kind of fell asleep and missed the Lakers and Golden State
I watched that
Warriors
game.
game. So I went to sleep early because when I woke up, they were talking about how the Lakers won, and I was just like, I don't think I knew that they might have been playing that night or something. So I guess I went to bed really early because I'm like, I didn't realize this game had taken place. So we'll get to that in a little bit when we get to our NBA action, but. So pretty much the Cleveland Guardians dropped a game yesterday to one of the worst teams in the AL Central, if not one of the worst teams in all of Major League Baseball, to the not the Toronto Blue Jays, but to the Detroit Tigers.
Mm-hmm.
And with this team, the bottom is falling out a little bit. I think. I had predicted 100 wins. I'm backing off of that because I just wasn't expecting this team to open up the season like they have. And one of the things I'm wondering is could they possibly turn it around as well? So, Brandy, what are your thoughts about the Cleveland Guardians? Can they turn what's going on around?
I think they can. Looking at last year, I think, they ended the season pretty strongly and we added new pieces. So I thought we were going to improve better, but, maybe it's just they need some time. We are a little over a month only into the season. So there's still time, but, I definitely didn't think they would have this much of a rough start. But, we have had injuries to Tristan McKenzie, but, our pitching just hasn't been as good as last year, and I think that might be the biggest thing right now.
I think that's a major part. We talked about that last week about our pitching has been struggling, and honestly, our bats have not been really been on either though. But like I said, I didn't catch the game last night, so I can imagine us losing to the Tigers. How messed up that was. Like, cause for us not to beat, I think if I'm mistaken, the Tigers is the worst team in the league right now. If I'm mistaken, for us not to beat them, like that's kind of tough. So Brandy, you just spoke on like our one thing you spoke on is our pitching. Is there anything else you think that they could or should be working on to try to fix?
I agree with you batting as well. Last year, they did struggle with batting a little bit, but
Mm-hmm.
I thought it'd be better this year, especially towards the end of that lineup, adding Bell, which I don't know how I feel about him yet. Kind of so-so,
Yes.
some games he's on. Some games it looks like he doesn't really fit in yet. So I'm not sure, but I think, the bottom of the lineup did get better than last year. I think they just will be able to make some hits now.
Yeah, for us to lose, we lost. I'm looking it up. Like I said, I didn't see it last night. I know we lost 6-2. Saying so. I mean, they were on big. So with that being said, I'm looking. Again, sorry guys, I'm looking it up because I did not watch the game last night, and I apologize. I was super busy. But it's showing me that their pitching was on last night. Wow, for the Tigers. You had Wentz had 5 strikeouts. Then they came in with Vest he came in with 1 strikeout, but he didn't play that many innings. And they closed out with Sharif with 2 strikeouts, 1 hit. So man, not too bad for the Guardians. As far as the Guardians go, our pitching struggled. We had literally 2 strikeouts with it. BB had 2 strikeouts. So I mean, our pitching struggled last night, and they showing with the 6-2 loss to the Tigers. Like, come on! And I'm looking at the Tigers record right here. Let's see if I will go back.
Yeah, I was just gonna say we're actually sitting right below them.
Right below them now. Like so, that's pretty bad. Like, wow. And we in the series, we got a 3-game series with them. We got a game tonight against them at 6, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, their game just started today.
Okay, yeah. So we got a game right now going against them, and then we got one more tomorrow. So we're in the 3-game series with them, and like I said, it should be a series that I feel we should win.
But I think that was the thing that we saw a lot last year. They were losing to teams that they should have won. And they were also, trailing in a lot of games. You figure last year they had 40, 50 games that they came back and won.
Yeah. I can hear again. This is kind of thank you, producer. You're the best. Mr. Styles yourself. I'm sorry, Brandy. I'm listening to you.
Oh, you're okay.
Yeah, I couldn't hear myself. I literally was just like listening to you. I couldn't hear nothing else. But now to hear everything again, I feel like a superstar. I feel like they want me on the show. Sometimes you gotta ask yourself. But so as of right now, I know. Miss Hill, Miss Rachel, the first day said they're gonna win 100 games. What you got them? What you got them right now?
Oh, geez. Before the season started, I said they'd win about 80 to 90 games. Right now, I don't know. I think they can still turn it around, though. There's still time.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know. Honestly, I think we got to make some major moves to turn it around. I mean, I know we've been missing some pieces, though, right now. So, oh, man. If we keep going at this rate, though.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Like right. At this rate, oh my goodness, it's bad.
Yeah. I agree with Brandy though. I believe that it can be turned around.
You think it can be turned around?
I do.
I mean, it's still early. It is still early in the season. We only a month in.
Month and a half.
Yeah, a month and a half in. I don't know, y'all. I'm sorry. Like I was rooting for them. I'm not gonna jump off the wagon, but I'm always gonna root for my Cleveland teams. But man, it's tough to root for them right now, man. It's tough. It's tough to watch a game.
Well, you got to still root for them and, hopefully have the belief that they can fix what's wrong. They can fix what's going on. Right now, injuries is
holes. It's like so many holes in the game right now. Like,
I know.
It's not like okay, this one piece messed up. We can try to fix this one piece. It's like across the board. It's hitting. It's pitching. I mean, like those are like. That's baseball, and we're struggling majorly in those two. It's sometimes normally like we have like last year was like okay, our pitching is on, our bats not heating up yet. Then our bats start heating up. We had a playoff push where we almost won the series against the Yankees. Where it was like okay, wow, I can't wait till next year because that team with one big piece, one more bat, we're gonna be.
I'm still questioning the decision to pitch Cal. You play to win, and you go with Shane Bieber.
I don't understand. I would never understand.
You play to win the game.
I would never understand play Shane Beaver. I would never understand that call. I understand that. I understand that he closed up, but there's no way you don't play Shane Beaver in that series for the game. Like you're playing to move on. You play him. That's a win, lose, or draw right there. So if I'm gonna lose, I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna go down swinging, and I felt that we didn't do that.
Brandy, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. It felt like, they were almost like saving Shane in case we did move on, but we didn't. So, that plan kind of failed anyway. So I agree with you guys. We should have played him, and then we would have gotten to the next round.
And then, but see, the thing is, if we moved on, and I know we're crowning for spilled milk, but if we moved on, he wouldn't have started the first game. I wouldn't have started in the first game, but guess what? He's back for the second.
It would have been Tristan starting that first game.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that, though. So let him he'll have his rest. I would have played him. There's no way I wouldn't have played him. But I think, and again, we're crowning on spilled milk because we can't change last year, but I think it cost us big.
The second pitching decision that I have disagreed with Terry Francona with. So we're going to go ahead and take a break really quickly. You're listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU at 95.9 FM. We'll be right back.
You cute today.
Oh, thanks.
Where you going?
Just for the baseball game. She got to put on regular clothes for that instead of my.
So you leaving and going right after this?
Sweats, yeah.
You should have canceled this.
Why?
And went to the game.
I just get there a little late. I get there around the fourth inning. I go because I don't want them taking our credentials away. Well, actually, I'm credentialed to another outlet. But, I do it for us and them. Oh, did I tell you about my video that's going to be on MLB Network?
No.
So, yeah, I'm working with that baseball website. And a video that I haven't done it yet. It's going to be on Major League Baseball Network.
Really?
Yeah, and on a social media website, Wednesday, March 17th.
You said March 17th? You said the 17th?
Yeah. It's going to be at 9:15 p.m. 9:15 a.m.
Hey, I'm going to watch it.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm really excited about it.
Tone into that. I follow them too.
Oh, you do? Good.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
I follow almost every sport on Instagram. I'm trying to think of the sport that I don't follow. I haven't followed cricket. I don't even know nothing about it.
Yeah. Well, that's like baseball.
Yeah, I'm still.
Except for your bat is much bigger.
I'm still trying to learn that game. Like,
really?
There's only like 3 people in the outfield. Like, it ain't that many.
Oh,
people.
really?
Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it. I'm still not understanding it at all.
Yeah, because it's like big in India and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And like over there.
It's like a big Asian sport. I have no idea about it. But I'm learning it. Trying to at least.
Man, one time at Ohio State, I had to have a credit. So I took badminton and gym. Let me tell you how competitive that class was. And then we had the tournament. All the Asians had knocked out all the American people. We was just sitting there watching the Asian tournament.
And then I found out like they know like a way to cheat. I was like, oh man, like it's a legal way of cheating.
Man, while we was getting our butts kicked, and I'm like, this only a 1 credit class.
Yeah,
they took that shuttlecock seriously.
Yeah, real. Like, but that's like badminton, like all them type of games over there, really big over there. Like karaoke.
I'm like, this just supposed to be fun.
Nah. This is life. We do not lose. It's like table tennis.
It was like we was playing the Olympics up in there.
Yeah. Like, I was watching them play table tennis. Like, I'm like, dude, like, you realize this just they just playing around. Like, I mean, you thought they were. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, I'm like, this. I mean, it was dope. It was very intense. It was dope to watch, but it's like, come on, man, y'all taking this way too serious right now.
That's hilarious.
With me, I'm still trying to hit the one. Y'all hit it 5 times. Like, wait a minute.
They don't play.
That game, man. You gotta be careful. Those type games for real.
All right, welcome back to Her and the Huddle, WOVU and 95.9 FM. And you're listening here on the regular radio dial. Keep it locked here all day long for some of the best programming in the city. Also, you can go to WOVU.org to listen online. You can download the WOVU app to take us with you on the go. And then if you have any questions, comments, or concerns anytime, you can always call our station at 216-271-0959. When we left and went to break, we were talking about some of Terry Francona's pitching decisions. And I can even think about when we had the one-game playoff with Tampa Bay, how he chose Danny Salazar to pitch. Yeah. And we got rocked 4-0. Yeah. So, I always question that, but I always question in the World Series. And I think I've, shared this with y'all, how I don't understand why he didn't pitch Ryan Merritt for a game to give Corey Kluber and Andrew Miller some rest. And even if, he got beat up a little bit, you still gave them some rest, instead of having Corey Kluber go out there for the third time in the series. And Andrew Miller and their arms was just dead. So I never understood why he didn't put that fresh arm. And even if we lost that game, I would have been fine with it because he showed that, okay, I'm playing to win.
And so he made some coaching. Because that was the year, that would have been a great year for Cleveland, man. I'd say the Cavs won. Man, we had
the Guardians. Not the Guardians, but
the
Calder Cup,
the
hockey team. And Stipe Miocic won in 2016 too. So
it would have been a great year for Cleveland if the Indians were pulled it off. Well, they were the Indians at the time, so I can say the Indians. If they would have pulled it off that year, man,
I was like, this is what God wants from us. Yeah. I'm like, we won the championship. Stipe won. He from 216. The Calder Cup is ours. And I'm like, 216. I'm like, this is a year that the Indians are going to win it too. It's 2016.
We should have won that one. Like, we definitely should have won that. It was, like you said, it was a couple bad pitching errors.
Trevor Bauer lost 2 games because of messing around with a drone.
Let's not break my heartbreak. So I was heartbroken, man. That was a tough year. We up 3-1 too, and that was better bad because we were up 3-1 to lose 3 in a row.
Yeah,
and we just won. We were up 3-1 again. We were down 3-1 in the Cavs game. So it was like, do you think LeBron jinxed us because he did put that out there?
No. It happened the way it happened. And, at the end, their arms was just mush. And that's why I said, I always question that with, Tito. Even if Ryan Merritt got beat up, you still gave those arm a rest because at the end, they weren't able to extend their arms.
Absolutely.
And, unfortunately, now it belongs to the annals of history.
Facts.
Facts. So Brandy, am I right, with some of the pitching decisions that I said Tito has made that hasn't been good?
Yeah, I definitely agree.
It sucks though. It definitely sucks.
Yeah. Because those decisions change history.
Change history, man. Like, hey, Cleveland was on the map that year, man. We were on the map.
It was a year downtown.
Yeah, oh man, downtown was rocking.
That night that we won the championship, you couldn't get cell service, so that was crazy. And
I was here. I left. I was in South Euclid.
Really?
I left South Euclid and drove downtown.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I parked when one of my buddies stayed downtown. He stayed on 4th Street, so I parked in their parking garage. And I mean. Oh yeah, dude, I'm not going home.
It was insane. Yeah,
it was amazing.
Yeah, I was at the watch party. That was crazy.
Yeah. So can you imagine? Yeah, so I'm about to say a lot of people were downtown. We were playing at Golden State that last game, so a lot of people were downtown already watching it at the Cavs stadium and at the watch parties they were having. I was watching it at a buddy of my house. Shout out to Tony Williams. I was watching it at his house, and I mean, we went down. We kicked it, and then but it just shows you like we're a football town. So if the Browns pull it together, you guys thought the Cavs winning was something. you guys are in for a rude awakening. The Browns win.
Yeah, but I kind of don't like pitting one team against the other. Saying it'll mean more when we hadn't had one for 50 something years.
Not that it would mean more, but I'm just saying like it's not because a title's a title, man. But it will be different. It's like you see how many people came up for the Cavs with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think it'll be like way more people, only because it's a football town. Like we are born and bred Browns fans. Like, and we win, maybe we'll get. We know. I don't want these people back, but we'll probably get our fans back who went to Pittsburgh. No, I don't want y'all back though. Y'all can stay where y'all at. I feel once you grab up and stay where you at.
You never leave your team.
No, I'm not ever. I would never like. I can never see myself rooting for another a rival team just because they have had a history. Like no, like I would never do that. Like, I can understand if I would like my stepdad. He sucks because he's a Pittsburgh fan, but he was raised a Pittsburgh fan. Like his family was from there, so I can understand. Like I don't know why my mom.
I'll give you that. I'll allow it.
Caritha, why did you marry that man? He's a Pittsburgh fan. You know that. No, I'm just playing. Sean is a good dude. He's a good dude. I'm just talking.
When they born there, I'll allow that. But if you ain't from Pittsburgh rooting for the Steelers, I can't allow that whatsoever. So I don't have any backup teams. So I ride or die with the Cavs, the Guardians, and the Browns. So there's no backup for me.
I have a backup team. I'm sorry. Cleveland. Football, no. Well, football, I do like Dallas, but I'm not. That's not my like. Oh, if Dallas playing, I gotta watch them. I do.
The Steelers is your team.
Who?
Okay, I was checking to make sure I wasn't misreading what DJ Cristal said.
Oh, Cristal, he's gonna get fired. No, but like I said, I do like the Cowboys. I'm not a huge fan of them, but I am a fan of the Cowboys. With basketball, I am a fan of wherever LeBron goes. So wherever LeBron goes, I am a fan of that team. So
I think my eyes stuck.
No, don't do that, Ray. Don't do that, Ray. Brandy, don't do that.
Yeah, we can hear you.
See, he's the Eagles. I'm the Browns.
Has the Eagles always been your extra team?
Yeah. Well,
oh, okay. I'll allow it.
See,
that's it. I don't care about baseball.
Yeah, I'm around with the Guardians. I ain't got no secondary fan with the baseball. Yeah, I don't got no secondary team with baseball. Football though, yeah, the Cowboys. I know they always had some. I was a big T.O. fan when he went to the Cowboys, and I was a big Michael Irvin fan and Emmitt Smith fan. So Cowboys always had that little piece of my heart, and they. So I'm a fan of the Cowboys. I'm sorry, but I'm not like one of those crazy fans of the Cowboys because I'm always pick the Browns over the Cowboys any day of the week. But basketball, I'm a Cavs fan, rather die Cavs fan. But wherever the Brown goes, I was a Miami fan. We went to Miami. I was a Lakers fan when he came to the Lakers. Let's go, King James.
Just a Cavs fan.
Nope. You better roll with LeBron. You see what he's doing to the Golden State.
I don't follow players.
Oh, I follow players. I'm sorry. Nope. I was a Shaq fan. Wherever Shaq went, I was a fan of that team. My favorite player. I'm a fan of that team. Wherever my favorite player go, and my favorite player right now is LeBron.
I love Terrell Brett. I ain't care with the Minnesota. You the Minnesota.
Nah.
I love Penny. When they got rid of him, and the Magic. It's cool.
No, man, you got some. Listen,
players.
What?
Oh.
Listen, players follow players now.
I can care less about their team.
Listen, players follow players now. Players don't give a crap about the team no more. It's about the player. Like only team that I care about in the NBA is the Cleveland Cavaliers. I am a bandwagon fan for everybody else.
At least he admitted it, though.
I'm real. I'm a bandwagon fan. Like I'm a legit Cavaliers fan. Like I'm ride or die with the Cavs no matter what. But when it comes to, like I said, if LeBron got up off the LA Lakers team right now and went to the Bucks, guess what? Guess what I'm rooting for next year? The Bucks. It's just what I like LeBron. I'm a huge fan of LeBron. Like I was a CP3 fan, but I don't like. I'm not that big of a CP3 fan. I think he's the best point guard, but I'm not the fan like, oh, wherever he goes, I'm going. But LeBron, wherever LeBron go, I go.
Brandy, do you have any backup teams?
She with me,
Only
right, Brandy?
backup team is football. I'm a Saints fan.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Other than that, I'm rocking with Cleveland.
The Saints,
but at least they got one Super Bowl,
right?
Well, Cowboys got a lot of them.
I know.
My dad is a huge Cowboys fan, so I also watch them every Sunday.
See, that's what I like to do.
Man, we going to commercial. I ain't listening.
Don't be like that. Don't be like that.
I'm for real. We're going to commercial now. So we gonna be right back with her in the huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. We'll be right back.
Also know me as Crazy Black Lady. I'm looking forward to finding out what's important to you. I'm Lakita Worley, and I look forward to re-engaging with everyone from Central Community. For the next 2 months, you can find us at community events and gathering spaces around Central in collaboration with our radio partner, WOVU 95.9 FM. We want to know what's important to you. We want to understand what issues are important to Central residents. On issues you care about. Signal Cleveland is a community-centered newsroom, and our name is a nod to Garrett Morgan, the noted Cleveland inventor and businessman. Among his many successful inventions was the 3-position traffic signal, which influenced the traffic signal we use today. Morgan also started the newspaper that eventually became the Calling Post. Now that's shown enough history, and it's our again, Signal Cleveland is also a nod to Ohio's role in the Underground Railroad. Cleveland, don't have the station.
Man, you want to hear some crazy that went yesterday?
Yeah.
So I'm at work last night. You know, I work for the city, so I'm at work. Hey, he died.
Yes, indeed. Signal Cleveland is on the right path. The path of getting to know the crossroads.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. Louisville coach.
Mm-hmm.
So I hear yesterday, last night, I'm at work. I'm doing my paperwork. So while I'm doing the paperwork, I put on a movie. And all I hear is, what I hear? Like, what is that? And then they stop. So I'm like, maybe because I got the doors open, maybe it's the wind blowing the paper. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I keep hearing. So I'm like, man, what is it? I tell you, man.
Yeah, hold that thought. Welcome back. You're listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU and 95.9 FM. This is your girl, Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports. And I didn't get to my backup team, but I don't have any backup teams. I'm ride or die for all the teams that we have here. I had a question for Brandy. What was I going to ask you? What was the last thing we were talking about?
Cowboys fan.
Backup teams. Oh, I always root for underdogs as well too. So, going into like the NFL during the Super Bowl, I was rooting for the Eagles, over the Kansas City Chiefs. So they almost won that game. No, if it wasn't for that penalty, they would have won the game.
Almost working horseshoes. Almost ain't good enough for where I'm from.
Shut up. George said he
I almost had $1 million, George.
You bet on the game like that?
I don't bet. We don't bet at WOVU. What are you talking about?
Well, you gamble.
What George talk about though?
Oh, George said his the Browns, the Wahoos, Cavs, Monsters, and they're in the Columbus, the Ohio State University fan ride or die, I think he meant. And he said his backup teams are the following for NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL, Big Ten, or other college school conferences. I really have never had that fallback team. I enjoy players in any league as long as they play.
Yeah, see, I never had a college fallback team. My college team has always been Ohio State. Now, when I was younger, like when I was like coming up and I really know about football, Hawaii was my favorite team. Like,
Really?
I had no, I don't know why. Because I'm gonna tell you why Hawaii was my favorite team. Because I used to play video games, and college had the video game, and I used to always play with Hawaii because they had a great passing game on the video game. But once I got up of age and really learned football, never had a college football team that I actually like. Other than Ohio State, that I was like, oh man. Same with baseball, basketball, anything. When it comes to college, besides basketball, because in basketball I was a huge. You already know what I want to say. A huge Duke fan.
Already rolling her eyes.
Yeah, you see her. Like, geez, I was a huge Duke fan. I'm sorry. Listen, Christian Leitner, though, oh man, them guys have me like, wow, like even to this day, I'm a Duke fan. Like, yeah, I'm sorry, like I like who I like, man.
And they said, what was his name? What was that guy's name? Christian Leitner was just like the worst human being ever.
But no, he's not actually. I was listening to Gilbert Arenas. Actually, this is so crazy. We talk about this. And I was watching Gilbert Arenas today on the podcast, and he was saying like, it was so funny how Christian Leitner can go everywhere and he just get booed. He would just get booed like no matter where he was at. Like, it was like they just booed him, and he was like, so he said, Gilbert Arenas acting like, is this? He's like, do they always do this thing? He's like, man, ever since I was, since I was in high school, college, he said, no matter where I go, I get booed unless I'm at home. Like, of course, one games they cheer for me. He's like, but I get booed probably the loudest. So Gilbert Arenas like asked like, how do you deal with it? He said, man, meditation and marijuana. I was like, well, I guess that's a good way to deal with it. Like that's crazy. But he's like he was one of the best dudes he ever met. But he's like, people don't like him, like for some odd reason. I'm like, that's because he played for Duke. Nobody likes kids who come from Duke. That's why they was hating on Kyrie Irving.
I think he stepped on somebody's face one time.
On his chest.
Okay.
And it was an accident. Like he was walking backwards. The guy was on the ground. You stepped backwards. You stepped on him. He didn't press down. Like he didn't do no Draymond Green. And it was like when what's my big man from
Joel Embiid.
Like he just did when he stepped on the old boy's face. It was an accident. He didn't intend on it. And that's the same thing happened with Christian Leitner. And from that point on, man, he could not
just added to the legend.
Added to the fire. Like, boy, can't catch a break. Like he like, man, it was like he said it's so bad that he go to the
grocery store.
Like he'll go to the grocery stores, or he'll go to the airport, and they were booing him at the airport. And he's like, it's that bad. I'm like, it's real. Like, how you go to the airport to get booed? You're like, I don't even play basketball no more.
He was like, Christian Leitner, you had 3 minutes to get to the gate. Yeah. Boo!
Get him out of here. He's like, I don't even play basketball no more, and I'm still getting booed. Like, that is horrible. That gotta be really bad.
Oh my God, that's great.
Yeah, that sucks. That sucks. That really sucks. That you don't even play, you still get booed.
Oh my God.
Like how can you see yourself like, hey, guess what? Christian Leitner here. Boo!
You're walking to a party. Boo!
I know.
Brandy, would you boo Christian Leitner still?
No, I don't think so. No.
Was that before you was born?
Yeah, I think you.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, what, 22? Yeah.
I'm 24. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I hated dude.
She probably didn't even see him play basketball. Like she was.
Right.
She
just
was born in 1999.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, you're a baby.
Yeah.
I can say that. Like I'm grown now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I hated Duke too because I hated Grant Hill, but I heard that might be my
What?
cousin.
Really?
So
Oh,
yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah, so I
So
didn't get a
listen,
chance to meet him to
hey
confirm,
y'all,
but
both light skinned, so
I'm not light skinned, I'm dark skinned.
she play y'all. Look, listen, y'all look alike. Y'all got the same skin complexion. Hey, you might be Grant Hill cousin, you ain't like him because you ain't like Duke because he played for him. Shame.
Yeah, I
Hey,
did.
listen, Grant Hill, bar injury, probably would have been one of the greatest players of all time.
Mm-hmm.
That guy could play ball. I mean, and he could jump out the roof. Man, that guy was great. And he didn't get hurt. Man, it's so many players. He's like, man, they just didn't get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Like what's my big man who played for Ohio State
Greg Oden.
Greg Oden. If I wonder what he would have did. He probably would have been the next Shaq if he could have played. He
Mm-hmm.
was dominating. Nobody could stop
Mm-hmm.
him. Like he had that type of play. He would play. He was that type of player like Shaq was, where he could just dominate anywhere, anyhow. You couldn't stop him. You couldn't even contain him. He was that type of player. And it was, man, health wise. If he was just healthy, I don't think I think he could have been one of the greatest of all time. Also,
Brandy, did you know anything about Christian Laettner and Grant Hill?
More so Grant Hill.
Okay.
She saw highlights of Grant Hill.
Yeah, and Christian Laettner.
Yes.
But I hated Duke so much that I was actually hoping that the Fab Five won. I wasn't, I was young though, so it wasn't like, that Ohio State was up and through me. You know what I'm saying? Like I normally would have rooted for them, but because I hated Duke, I was rooting for Michigan and won. And they were the Fab Five. They were cool and black socks and all that other stuff.
Shorts,
yeah, so
game.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I guess I was rooting for
Jalen
them.
Rose, Chris Webber. Oh y'all, you guys suck.
Really?
I hated them.
Was it Jimmy King?
I hated Michigan.
Yeah, I know.
Even as a young kid, like my father, like he was like me and my son, like you better not ever root for that team. And it's like I don't care what's going on in life. If you see a Michigan player on fire, you better walk past him. like, okay, Dad.
Well,
that's fine.
Well, dang.
Me.
Well, dang, Dad.
Yeah, it was real out here. That's how much we wasn't supposed to like me. I told my son, honestly, if he would have went to Michigan because he had an opportunity. I said, if you go to Michigan, you ain't got to worry about having a father anymore. I just owned you right then and there.
My God,
you are disowned, son. If you go to Michigan,
I don't want you doing that,
son. You're no longer loved. As a matter of fact, I'm taking you out the wheel. No more trust fund for you, buddy.
All right, so it's the bottom of the second inning. The Cleveland Guardians are up on the Detroit Tigers, 1-0. So that's our score update. Let's get a little bit about some NBA action or whatever.
Let's go Lakers.
So Evan Mobley makes the all-defensive team.
Should have.
Yeah.
So congratulations to him on that. So really proud that he's made a lot of strides, but I feel like he can go even further because I felt like he was exposed, against the New York Knicks and his defense and stuff like that. So I feel that, he has the potential to be an even better lockdown defender once he gets his footwork together and stuff like that. Brandy, what are your thoughts on Evan Mobley winning one of the defensive all defensive team?
Yeah, I'm glad he is. I figured he would be. He was one of the finalists for Defensive Player of the Year, but Jaren Jackson won it. But I think we saw a huge step in Mobley this year. So I think, we'll continue seeing improvement in him next year. But he played really well this whole season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so too. And Eddie, you said that, he belonged there, deserved it.
He had a great season.
Okay, good.
He had a great season. So I'm on the defensive side, and mind you, he still got a high ceiling. I think he's going to be even better.
Mm-hmm. So let's get to these playoff games. So the game that I missed last night, Brandy, were you able to watch that Lakers game?
Yes, I did watch it.
Okay, how good was that game?
Hey, Brandy, you killing thieves. You didn't sound too happy about this.
I know. Roles are reversed now because the Lakers are up 3-1, but it was a pretty good game. The Lakers were down about like
The
12 to
whole
14
game.
points at one point. So it was looking like Golden State was going to be able to win, but, you know, Jordan Poole hasn't been playing too well, shooting the whole series. Steph and Clay, you know, were missing some threes. They were kind of taking wild threes at some point. Even Steve Kerr, you know, could tell was getting frustrated with some of their shot selection. But I think the Lakers have this series, you know, definitely being 3-1. I think the next game, Golden State might steal it just because it's back in Golden State. But I think once it goes back to LA, the Lakers will close the series.
It's so funny because on 3 point, surprisingly, man, Golden State was like 4 for like 25 on 3 pointers in the first half. It was horrible. Jordan Poole scored 0 points in the whole game. He had no points.
And Gary Payton kept throwing up and having to leave the court.
Yeah, he played pretty. He was. I think he was definitely sick.
Yes.
Draymond Green had an amazing pass last night. I mean, not pass. He fake pass to a layup. Oh, it was kind of dope. But overall, Lakers, LeBron. Oh, I give a shout out to Steph Curry. Got his triple double. But he had that in the first half. Like he needed one more rebound to have it in the first half. He had 11 assists, nine rebounds, like 14 points, and then of course he finished off with 14 rebounds. I think 12 assists, and I think 31 points or 32 points, something like that. But
Lonnie Walker had a great game for the Lakers.
Yeah, everybody keeps talking about him.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's stepping up big time for him. Like he's stepping up big time. Gary Payton Jr., man, or the third, whatever. He's been having a good series this series though. And you know it's so funny because it's the people that you wouldn't expect. Like you know your stars gonna have you, but you can't always have your stars. But so it's the people that's not the superstar that's actually been having good games. So that's a good thing. But I'm with you, Brandy. I think the Lakers will close it out. I said the Lakers in 6, and it might be in 5. If LeBron decides to take over and AD decide to take over, it'll be in 5.
Yeah, I think that's their biggest thing. As long as AD keeps playing well, I think they'll continue to win. Their game before this, AD, I think he had under 10 points or something like that. But, you know, they lost when he's not playing well. But usually I think pretty much every game they've been having someone step up from the bench, whether it's Lonnie Walker or Hachimura or Reeves. You know, one of them usually are having a big game each game.
He had a horrible game last night, though. He was playing. He couldn't buy a bucket last night.
Yeah, George said the Lakers didn't win last night without Lonnie Walker the fourth.
Yeah.
So
you would never hear argue that point. You were 100% right on that one, George.
So I had Golden State winning this series, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna walk that back. I could be wrong.
No. Stay. We say don't stay after the series.
No,
right? So don't jinx us.
Right.
I'm gonna walk that back.
Stay with George. Stay with Golden State, yo.
I've been doing good with my predictions too, but I didn't see this coming. You know, obviously, and I think I talked about this a little bit yesterday. You know, I guess you can see teams not really caring about the regular season as long as they get to their playoff spot, and they're like, "Hey, this is where we're going to do our damages in the playoffs." So, you know, I guess it really can show that, you know, regular season don't mean anything to these athletes. And you see, if you play hard for 5 minutes, usually you can win games and stuff like that. So, especially if you're a good team and you play hard for 5
Miami's
minutes.
been mad. Well, like I said, I didn't see Miami having struggled against the Knicks, but like they've been showing a different. Jimmy Butler been balling. Like
what is it now?
But 3-1.
3-1, I think. Okay, because they played yesterday, didn't they?
Yeah.
And they lost.
Correct.
Should we have got rid of the Kevin Love guys? Brandy, I'll take you first.
I think it's kind of hard. I think for our playoffs that we were just in, I think we could have used Kevin Love. But looking at the future and having to pay him $30 million on his contract, I think in the long run it was worth them getting rid of him when they did, but I do think that they could have used him in the playoffs this year.
Mm-hmm. You need somebody that can shoot the ball.
Yeah,
And he was one of the only people who can shoot it.
and that. But see, the thing is, like, actually, Okoro stepped up big time in the playoffs. He was actually hitting the shots, which was surprising.
Like one.
More than he normally hit. Like the last game, he played. He had a pretty good game. Like the last game before we got put out, he had a pretty good game. Now, is he Kevin Love? No, I would have kept Kevin Love over it. I would definitely play Kevin Love. I that's tough. My personally think that we should have played Lopez, like I told you before. That big body in the middle, because we were getting bullied in the middle.
Mhm.
They were like, "Don't do nothing, no, to protect the rim. I don't need you to do nothing else. Protect the rim." And because we were getting bullied in the middle. And I was like, I'd rather New York shoot. Let them shoot. And then another thing, we weren't aggressive enough either. Like I don't think the Cavs was aggressive at all in that series. The one game that we were aggressive, we blew them out, and then we backpedaled back to our normal, you know.
Well, I should have known we was gonna lose the series when we lost game one. So,
Yeah,
you know.
and they bullied us game one,
hmm
and that's my thing. Like we got bullied. It shows.
And the score wasn't even close. So we
No.
lost by 4 points, but
Yeah.
we lost
But-
by
but-
way more than
But
that.
but if you actually watch the game and you just hit the nail on the head, if you actually watch the game, we got our butts whooped.
Mhm.
I knew they were in trouble when we played them the last game of playing them during the season when Julius
Mhm.
Randle didn't play and Jalen Brunson hit 50. I knew it was going to be a hard series for them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that game before we got to the playoffs, we knew that we probably were playing the Knicks in the playoffs.
Mhm.
Still lost.
Mhm.
So it's like the urgency here.
But see, and I can't even ask you like, what do you think? Do you think New York is our kryptonite? You're like, nah, you're all right. Well, I think I was right.
I wouldn't say it's our kryptonite though. I don't feel like it's our kryptonite. Brandy, do you feel like New York is our kryptonite? But it's only one series though. Because when the last time we faced them in a series?
Before the series, we only beat them. We beat them. We won one game in the entire season.
Yeah. But I still think Steph Curry is our kryptonite.
No,
He's still evil to us.
He's just evil. That's the difference. He's just great. And I think, but again, like when we be talking about Steph, when we had healthy, we were fully healthy in the first series that we played them. We probably would have won. We had Clay and we did not play. We had Kyrie and Love. You know,
Oh yeah.
Like it would have been a total different.
Mm-hmm.
Like it would have been a total different series. Like seriously, like
Mhm.
you guys struggled against one player.
Mm-hmm.
You guys struggled against LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine if we had a whole, and then the next year we had the whole team. We whooped y'all. They jumped to the point where y'all had to go get KD.
I'm still mad at Kelly Olynyk.
You know, so
I was ready to fly out to Boston, man.
yeah.
Yeah, man. Because he just looked like that dude that, show up to your local YMCA,
Yeah.
Looking all dirty like he ain't, showered in 2 days. And you pick him last on your team and he come out balling.
Balling out.
Yeah, man. That's how Kelly Olynyk be.
Facts. So we got like 5 minutes left, and I gotta ask y'all, Dylan Brooks. Can we ask?
No.
Can I ask? Because I think this is if the Cavs get him, I think it's a horrible idea.
Me too.
It's a horrible pick. I think it's a bad idea. So I don't know. What y'all want to know y'all thoughts?
Brandy, you can hit it first.
I agree. I don't think he should come to Cleveland. I will say I do think we need somebody that has like that aggressiveness or like a Marcus Smart aggressiveness, but I don't think Dylan Brooks would fit in well with the team right now.
And I don't know if Donovan Mitchell would, get along with him because he's saying that this one lasted for years and the last time they had something they had to fight. So I'm not sure, obviously they'd have to talk that over with the team, but I think the team, if anything, would be welcoming because it's a great group of guys, but I wouldn't want Dylan Brooks on my team because, he's not the greatest offensive player.
Facts.
So you're trading, Isaac Okoro for Isaac Okoro. Excuse me. So he doesn't have no spot on this team. We need a shooter. We need a three that can put the ball in the cup. So one of the things is, you can continue to have Karis LeVert come off the bench because he still might be around next year. You have him come off the bench again still, but you got to get a three that's functional, because you look at the stat sheet, Isaac Okoro play for 15, 20 minutes and have 0 points.
Yeah.
So I think that it just can't be done. You got to go after somebody else.
I agree.
So I definitely agree. I'm 100% with you as far as not getting Dylan Brooks. I don't even know why we're even having a conversation. The fact that nobody wants him to the point where he was about to go to Taiwan and play, let him go. He I wasn't impressed by him at all. I'm like the biggest accomplishment you got was saying that LeBron is too old. And
that was still funny.
It's hilarious. You can't score 40, ain't got nothing to say. I ain't gotta respect it. So that's your biggest accomplishment in the NBA. Like, you're not that. I'm not impressed by him. If he come to Cleveland and when he play for it, I'm gonna root for him. So it's not that I'm not gonna, because I'm rooting for my team, but I think we can do a lot better.
And your elimination game, you got beat by 40.
That's
he hung 40 on you.
I think Memphis as a whole, the whole team kind of talked too much this season. They said how the West wasn't tough before, the trade deadline, and then they got out of playoffs by a team that was in the play-in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But see, the thing is, like when Ja Morant told them, like, oh no, we can be prepared for Boston, as if you were gonna just blow through the West.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what he said. Like, who's gonna be your biggest competition? He said Boston.
Oh, yeah, they was talking mad stuff.
Yeah, like, bro, like y'all aren't that good, like.
Well, dang.
You realize that that's how you know that they're a young-minded team, because it's like, no, NBA playoffs are completely different from regular season.
Mm-hmm.
Like, anybody who played in the playoffs will tell you that. Like, it's a whole new season. So for you to brush your team off, like, they're nothing, or we wait, like, you just gonna make it through the Western Conference Finals and go straight to the finals against Boston, like. You pick Boston to win. Like, you picked Boston to beat the East. Like, yo. Like, yeah, we were prepared for Boston. Like, our biggest competition will be Boston.
Did you guys see?
You got Golden State. You got the Lakers who beat you. You had Denver. You got you got teams just go down the line. You got teams to beat. You just man, that team was crazy. I'm sorry.
Brandy, less than 20 seconds. What were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just going to say, did you guys see the picture Giannis posted saying, I'm tired of getting disrespected, I'm back?
We still have a minute.
Hello? What were you saying, Brandy?
I said, did you guys see the picture Giannis posted and he put the caption, I'm tired of getting disrespected, I'm back?
Oh, no,
Yeah, he posted that earlier today.
That'd be bad.
Yeah.
Have a good one, though.
Yeah, it's time to wrap it up anyway. Well, thank you for listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. Brandy, we love you. We'll talk to